Okay, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Creatively Lisa, high vibing in from Seattle, Washington. How are you doing? It's absolutely amazing up here. I love it. Okay, so I am there. I'm just giving you a preface. I had to switch streaming services and change some things around. So it might be a little wonky here and there, but we're going to make it work. So far, it seems to be working pretty good. I'm just figuring all of this out with this new streaming service. So I apologize. If you do not know me, I'm Creatively Lisa. And let me fix a couple things here. I'm seeing, sorry guys, as I said, getting all of this lined up. I had a problem with my streaming service, and yeah, it is what it is. But I'm here now, and we are rolling as best as we can get started. So let's get everything lined up. Looks good. Okay, now what we are talking about today is your dog food. Could what you're feeding your dog be making them sick? It could. And that's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over things to look at and how to be able to change things that you're currently feeding your dog, and how you can switch to a different types of food and other options and know what to look for, because this is the key problem with a lot of dog foods these days. And if we have a little time at the end, there's a couple extra things I wanted to go over. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. This is something that I didn't know a lot about in the beginning, and I realized how important it was. I learned everything from actually doing it. I had a male named Chow Chow named Chowie, that in all honesty, I grew up learning about dogs really with him. My mom had dogs, but we just never did care for him that much. I'm the one that cared for Chowie. He was mine, so I had to really pay attention to what I was feeding him and everything. And as we were dealing with some health issues, and I've talked about that in other videos, I remember the vet telling me, if it's not good for you, it's not good for them. And just like I do, know what's good for our pups and what isn't. We know what's good for us and what isn't. We may not eat it right, but we know what's good for us. And so that's something that's key. And not understanding the ingredients or knowing what they put in them, or at least knowing what is actually in most dog foods that's toxic, and the brands will at least give you a little bit of an idea of what to look for and how to move forward with a solid dog food. If you've ever wondered why your dog is graying, they're graying. Their face is graying at a accelerated rate. They're graying, starting to gray at really early ages, 5, 6 years old. This should not be happening. And it's happening because of a variety of different things. It's happening because they're not getting the nutrition that they need in their food. It's happening because the types of home products and stuff that you're using is toxic, and it's wearing down in their system, and their body's pulling from different things. It's happening because the environment in general and stress, all of these things make a difference. So it goes on your bond and everything. So that's what we're going to go over today. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever checked what's really in your dog food? Have you actually looked at the ingredients and thought, what is that? I don't understand it. I better look that up. Could the ingredients that you're feeding them every single day be harming their health? And the answer is absolutely yes. What if common dog food ingredients could increase the chances of cancer, the risk of cancer, organ damage, even lead to behavioral issues, itching, scratching, anxiety? All of these things play a role, and the food and their surroundings is key. So let's go over these questions, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll give you some different information. So, have you ever stopped and thought about what preservatives are actually in the food, in the dog food? It sits on the shelf for a really long time. What do they have to put in it for that to be the case? Ask yourself that. It's probably not healthy for them, and it causes accelerated aging as well, along with everything else. It literally just builds, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? That's it. Could the food you're feeding be putting them at risk for serious health conditions? Yes. Here's another question for you. What if the bright colors in dog kibble are doing more harm than good? And ask yourself this: why are these colors in the dog food? They don't care what it looks like. They don't care. It's because they're appealing to the owner. They want it to look better. So it's got red number 40 in it, and yellow number this, and orange this, and all these different colors that don't need to be in there. And why does it need color? How are they preparing it? Have you ever wondered how they prepared that dog food to get it in that kibble thing? It's flash cooked at high temperatures, so high that it literally eliminates all nutritional value whatsoever. And then they have to put stuff back into it to make it appealing. That's not a solid plan either. And you get advanced glycolic endgame, ACGs, get in it, and those are actually massively cancerous, among other things. And they don't have to put it on the label, but all dog foods, traditional dog foods, Purina, Alpo, what's another one? Pedigree, all of these major so-called brands that are out there do this type of preparation for the food. They're horrible ingredients. And that's what we're going to go over today. And give you a little bit of an idea to look at the food that you're feeding them and go, okay, this is changing. Because how would you feel if that's what you were eating all the time and nothing else? It plays a huge role and effects in their life. So let's get to it. So today I'm going over the 5 most toxic ingredients that are lurking in your dog's food and what you need to do to avoid it. So let's dive in. Ready? Let's do this. So the 5 most toxic ingredients lurking in your dog's food. Number 1 is BHA and BHT. That's what it is. And what this does, this is a duo, first toxic duo. It's a chemical preservatives used to extend the shelf life, and it's been linked to serious health concerns like cancer, organ damage. Imagine feeding your dog something that's been preserved with chemicals instead of natural, healthy ingredients. These are ticking time bombs hiding in that dog food. Number 2, ethoxyquin. It's hard to say. Ethoxyquin. And this is a silent toxin often used in fish-based pet foods like salmon and different types of ones. Ethoxyquin can cause liver and kidney damage and has been connected to cancer as well. This preservative might be hiding in your pet's kibble right now, depending on what type of kibble that you're using. All right. So number 3 is propylene glycol. And this one is not kind either. Did you know that some dog foods contain this propylene glycol? It's a derivative of antifreeze. Yes, antifreeze. While it keeps the food moist, it can be harmful for your dog's digestive system and overall health. You wouldn't want your pup eating chemicals found in antifreeze, would you? That's what it is. Number 4 is artificial colors. Who cares what it looks like? They're eating it, so you want it nutrition. Obviously, you don't want to bake out everything that's supposed to be in there, so it has its natural color, but putting in artificial colors is not serving your dog. Let's talk about that. They make the dog food look vibrant, but these dyes add zero nutritional value. Worse yet, they've been linked to behavioral issues and allergies in dogs. Why are we adding chemicals just to color it? What's that reason? For our eyes, not for their tummies. Corn syrup. Why is corn syrup in this food? It's a sweetener that's completely unnecessary in dog food. It doesn't need to be sweet. Our food doesn't need to be sweet. It makes it more addictive. They don't even like it. We do, but they put it in there to make all of these things happen. And what it contributes to is obesity, diabetes, and overall poor health when those are the ingredients in it. Your dog doesn't need sugar. Corn syrup, which is a processed sugar, and if it's corn syrup, and it's such low quality, it's probably GMO as well. And you wonder why your dog's dietary issues and they're having all these allergies. This is the reason why. Just another way for these food companies to trick you. It's unnecessary. Unnecessary. And I'm going to go over two more that are key, so key. And that is a meat meal and meat byproduct. And then I also mentioned advanced glycolic end products, so ACGs. And these are toxic as well. So we're going to go over each of the three. So meat meal, it's basically pretty much anything that's around bones, gristle, anything that you would not actually put in food. And they cook it down into a powder form. So it's filler. And then they take that powder and they put it in the food to make it seem like it's actually more, but it's not. There's no nutrition, mostly toxic, and it's just giving filler to the food. So the amount of food that they would need to eat would be way more than they're eating. And so this is where you get fat dogs from as well, and all of these health issues. They're not actually getting nutrition. And here's another thing to look for. Does your dog poop a lot? If your dog is pooping a lot, they're not getting any nutrition in the food. It's just coming in waste and coming out. Solid, good, a raw diet and different types of proper, healthy diets, your dog will actually poop less because they're using more of the nutritional value of the food that you've given them. So they don't poop it out because it's not waste. They utilize it at a much better rate. So it's meat meal and meat byproduct. And this could be anything. They use different parts of chickens and most and everything. And that's what dogs get allergic to. And chicken is probably one of the poorest quality out there. Rarely is it free range or grass fed or organic that you're getting. Very, very rare. And so it's really bad. But they put the meat meal or the byproduct and everything. And it's literally anything and everything that happened to be in the processing plant. Whatever happens to be on the floor. It could be cockroaches. It could be roadkill. It could be euthanized animals. It doesn't matter. They put it in the food. Why? Filler again. So any sort of ingredient that could be even remotely nutritious will be so far down the line and not be helpful. And then when they cook it at such high temperatures, you get the ACGs and you cooked out all nutrition altogether. So meat meal, meat byproduct, and ACGs, advanced glycolic AGEs, advanced glycolic end products. These are so toxic. So look at these ingredients. And so I'm going to go over them one more time, and just that way you have a quick note of them. So it's 5, but it's actually 8. That's 8. 8 of the most toxic ingredients lurking in your dog's food. Number 1, BHA and BHT. It's a preservative. Number 2, ethoxyquin, again, another preservative. Number 3 is propylene glycol, used to make it moist, but it's really antifreeze, a version of antifreeze. Number 4, artificial coloring. Why? Number 5 is corn syrup. Again, why? Number 6 is meat meal. Number 7 is meat byproduct. And number 8 is AGEs, advanced glycolic end products. These are extremely toxic. Now, a lot of these you'll see in the ingredients, but the AGEs you will not, because they do not have to label them. It only comes out in the processing of it. So they don't even have to label it. And it is a massively high carcinogen. So these 8 ingredients are extremely toxic. And the opposite of that is a holistic diet. That can extend the life of your dog, can help prevent illnesses in them, and can solve so many other issues with their diet and with their overall behavior and with basically how they feel. Here's the thing. We're entrusted with caring for these beautiful creatures. And if we're giving them poison, it's not serving them. And ultimately they know, and we know it's bad. Just got to take the extra time necessary to make sure that we're giving them high quality food. Now, the best approach is the holistic approach and holistic alternatives. And that is a main solution. So look for foods made with real meat, grass-fed, free range, wild caught. It has to be #1 ingredient. Also, whole ingredients, vegetables, yams, pumpkin, high quality vegetables in them, and organic. Same thing. These are fresh meats, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables that's put in the food. You can also make your own food as well. Keep it natural. By choosing toxin-free foods and natural ingredients, you're going to give your dog the best shot at a long, healthy life. And you're going to give it an even bigger shot of them being with you for a really long time and being healthy and thriving with you. And that feeling, my friend, that is where it's at. When you can walk in the door and you can feed them and you can watch them eating the food you're giving them, knowing that it's caring for them and making them healthy and happy and keeping them vibrant and young, that is the feeling of pride. That is the feeling of confidence, knowing that you're doing your best caring for your baby. And it starts with the food they eat and the environment that they're surrounded in. And that's up to you. And they trust you to give them the best and keep them healthy so that they can be with you and guide you and be there for you every day. Because that's what they want, is to be with us. So if this makes sense to you, then start looking at the ingredients in the food. Start going through them and finding better alternatives. And if this is something that resonates with you, I have a PDF on this exact thing and a workbook actually to go through it so you can write stuff down. If you would like my PDF on quality food and what to look for in the ingredients, and also stay away from grains. Those are also fillers. And to look for in the ingredients, then comment food below, and I will send you my free guide on the safest, healthiest dog food options for your fur baby. Let's make positive choices for our dogs and give them the vibrant, toxin-free lives that they deserve, because they just want to be with us and they want to be healthy at the same time. My PDF has recipes also in it as well. And I'm happy to give it to you. So comment food in the comments or just message me. And if there's any questions you have, please don't hesitate to ask. It's ideal to be able to live holistically and be able to feed your dog food that you would be just as proud eating yourself. Yep. So with that said, I'm going to bid you adieu. Remember to always go out and create something magnificent with your furry, and I will see you on the next live.